Welcome to the Bushido gang. What's up, guys? It's Attack on Samurai, and welcome to week 3 of the Bushido gang draft league. So this is my review for it. Going to be covering all the games that happened this week. So before we dive in, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord Bushido gang and subscribe for some more content on the channel, and check out my other social medias like my Instagram and all that jazz. So yeah. Anyways, for week 3, for my team, the Washington Samurais, I will be playing against King Eevee, captain of the Farmington Feraligators. So I will say that this game went by very quickly. It was a very hit for hit kind of game. But it was a pretty interesting one, though. I'll definitely say that. The team I brought this week was a little bit more offensively built, because the way his team was built, King Eevee's draft, his draft didn't really have too many walls. So I felt pretty confident in just bringing a more offensive team. So let's dive in. So turn 1, I lead with my Abomasnow, as King Eevee's going to lead with the Reboot. So team matchup wise, I felt like my team had a lot going on, because Hydreigon literally can just body everything on his team, barring if I am going to say that my Hydreigon is a little bit, it is an offensive Hydreigon, but I am going to say that, it can really just pressure through his team, because he doesn't have too many answers to dark types, besides of course Sylveon, which I was prepared for if he did bring it, but yeah, he did not bring that. So Hydreigon is just free to just Dark Pulse through his team. So I felt pretty good in making sure that my Hydreigon could do that. The Abomasnow set that I have actually has Aurora Veil, so I can run some stuff with the Re-Nicholas and have it be like a late game cleaner if need be. So that's what I was kind of going through in my mind when I was building this team. But anyways, my Abomasnow is actually going to be Choice Scarf, and I can outspeed the Reboot if it is if it's just a regular one, but I wasn't really, trying to risk that. So I go into Ditto instead, just to scout for whatever he go for. He goes for the Yui instead of going for a Blitz. So again, just to make sure he wants to keep that alive, he's going to bring in the Jellicent right here. So what I can do is just U-turn out on my own, as I do get chipped a little bit. So that was a very defensive Jellicent. I can bring in the Hydreigon now, as she's going to go for the burn on me. That burn is going to, kind of hurt me throughout the remaining of this game. I will say that. But I'm going to Dark Pulse him, and there goes the Jellicent. So he's going to sack that. And now what the Feraligators are going to do is that they bring in the Haxorus. So when I saw Haxorus, I knew that boy had to be Choice Band or it had to be Choice Scarf. It's one or the other. It is one or the other. Now my Hydreigon can outspeed Haxorus. But I was not willing to stay in here and just let him CC me or go for first impression. So I made the safer play, which I thought was the safer play, because I had a feeling he could either go for the first impression or go for CC. Now, I don't really have too many, first impression answers. I only have one first impression answer, being my Copperage or even my Magneton. But I really don't have a CC answer besides Re-Nicholas, and I was not willing to just go for that. So what I'm going to do here is go into Copperage, hoping he goes for the first impression, but he goes for the CC, and that's going to body my Copperage. Now, Copperage being gone, at the time, I didn't think it was really that necessary, because I did have other ways to deal with, again, the Slowbro, and also deal with the Porygon Z. So that was not that big of an issue, but it's kind of going to matter, because without Copperage, I can't really deal with them as well. But I have to try to, power through them with my other mons. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So Copperage dying isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best thing either. So now you can switch on and go into the Reboot as I go for the Psyshock. So that Psyshock did a ton. It did a ton of damage to him. I could definitely go for it again, and I think I do go for it again as he goes for the Yui. Yui doesn't do too much, as my Re-Nicholas is fully defensive, so I can just recover here and just keep my Re-Nicholas healthy. He's gonna get the Quick Claw off, or Quick Draw off, and goes for the side Shell Arm, but I'm gonna take that since my Mag is a Steel type. Go for the Flash Cannon. I went Flash Cannon because I wasn't trying to go for a Thunderbolt and then he goes right into the Zero Aura. I was not feeling that way. So I go for the Flash Cannon. It is way too much to that bro. Gonna Psyche me down, do a decent chunk to me. But he's gonna Protect again. Waste some Flash Cannon PP, but it's not really gonna matter that much. So bro's gonna die. So there goes the bro. So 2 down for him. He's gonna bring in the Reboot to revenge kill me. But he actually goes for the U-turn instead, which I was surprised about. I really thought he'd go for the Blitz. Blitz was kind of free at the moment, but I guess maybe he was predicting the Reuniclus or maybe the Ditto to come back in. So I guess that was fair on his part to do that. But I go for the Flash Cannon just to weaken this Zero Aura a lot. So he's going to go for the Drain Punch, and it is going to kill me. So since I saw Drain Punch, I was thinking, okay, he must be like a bulk up kind of Zero Aura with Drain Punch. So probably like bulk up, knock off, Drain Punch, and Plasma, which was what I was thinking. Now unfortunately I don't have anything faster besides, you know, Hydreigon to take the hit. So Hydreigon can't take the Dark Pulse, it can't take the hit, and I have to Draco here because Dark Pulse can't kill from that range. So I kill him off as I tell him that, I pretty much show him off that this is, you know, a Choice Specs one. So he's gonna bring in their Reboot as he goes for the Yui. So he's gonna Yui again on my Ditto switch in, and now what I could do is go for the Yui on the Haxorus. Now actually he's gonna go for the First Impression to kill me. So with him going for the First Impression, I was okay with that. Granted, I didn't really have too much of a other First Impression switching. Maybe Reuniclus could have taken it. It probably could have taken the First Impression, so I could have just went right back into Reuniclus and just recovered. But I really wasn't sure. I could do the calc actually. I guess I could show you guys the calc just to see. But I might have taken it. I might have. Reuniclus. I know like defensive. I know Haxorus is very like offensive, but I do think Choice Band. Let's make that adamant. I'm assuming he was adamant. But if he was, jolly cool. But let's see, First Impression. Adamant First Impression did 75 to 88%. Wow. So in hindsight, I could have just stayed in. Okay, so I could have stayed in with my Reuniclus and I would have been fine because he would have been locked in and he had to switch, so I could have recovered. But I can go for the Side Shock as I bring out my Reuniclus, and now he goes for the Hyper Beam and kills me off. So like I said, if I had my Copperajah, I could have actually taken the hit as I was like an AV Copperajah. But losing my Reuniclus kind of sucks because now I can't, you know, really calm mind up and, you know, take hits better. So there goes my Reuniclus. Now I get to revenge kill him with the Hydreigon. So I go for the DP, and there goes the PZ. So at this point, he goes for the Reboot as I go into the Abomasnow. Now, that was actually a bad play. That was a bad play for me to do that. I should have just stayed in and went for it again. But I really wasn't sure what kind of Reboot this was. Like, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Choice Scarf, or if it was going to be like Life, or if it was going to be like a banded one. But again, from the way how I copied the Ditto, or I copied his set with Ditto, the way he played it, it really made me think he was either Choice Scarf or Bandit. Like, it was kind of hard to tell between these three, because these three are very common to be like Choice Band or even like Bandit. Like, Bandit Haxorus made more sense for his team, or even Choice Scarf. The Specs Porygon Z was definitely pretty cool to see. But yeah, I go for Abomasnow on the off chance he went for Sucker Punch, which he did go for. So I'm able to revenge kill the Haxorus and go for the Blizzard as he's forced to switch out. So I go for the Blizzard here. And there goes the Haxorus. So Haxorus drops. And now this is where he reveals that he's Choice Scarf, and he's going to kill me with the HJK, and that's going to be the game. So yeah, that is going to be the game at that point. So he's going to be able to land the next one, and that's going to be that. So a really close game. A very, very close game right there. As you can see in the comments, he thought that I was actually Choice Scarf Hydreigon, but I was actually Choice Specs the whole time. Again, the way his team was built, I felt like just going fully offensive was the right play. So I think double Specs was fine, and having the Choice Scarf Ditto to revenge kill something, which was also part of my plan. And then having like a backup plan and Aurora Veil Reuniclus definitely could have went in my favor, but the Choice Scarf Reboot does like come through. So that is going to be one win for King Eevee. So that gives him his first win, and I am now 1-2. So got to pick up the pace next game. Got to pick up the pace not next game, but next week. So yeah, that is going to be my match for week 3. So now let's move on to the next matches. So we have the Dubai Dragapults, coached by DMX, aka DNNP, and then we have Ace Trainer Eric, coach of the Sunset Lakes Sceptiles. So looking at the team matchup, it looks like DMX might have a shot. If he can break through the lax. If he can break through lax, then Dragapult could definitely do some work to him. So that's something he's got to be aware of. The Sandaconda's pretty cool. I guess he wants like hazards up and also some some glaring potential to stop like his faster mons. Could also be like a rock Cobalion as well, but I feel like that might be more of a setup one. Setup Cobalion could actually be very strong here. He brought the Pex again like usual, so the Pex is back and so is the Rotom, and the Dragapult of course. So the P2 is actually a new one. He hasn't brought P2 yet. Actually no, I think he did. I think he brought it like last week or the week before. I think it might have been last week though. But P2 is pretty cool. He could run some pretty cool stuff with that. He could be like a Trick Room set. He could be like just a stalling one with like Foul Play. I could see something like that if he wants to deal with Rillaboom or Flygon if it's gonna be like a DD one, or an SD Rillaboom. So he has those options, but he could also just Toxic too. So I'm very curious about how this game's gonna go. This could be a good game in either one's favor. For Eric's side, Clang Clang could actually be a pretty nice sweeper if he gets rid of the Rotom. Could actually be a very nice cleaner. The Frostmoth might do some work. It could definitely deal with the Dragapult if it's a special one. It can also mess up the Sandaconda since Sandaconda doesn't have really good specials. So Ice Beam is just going to knock that mon out. The Lax is actually going to be really cool if he's like a Curse Lax. If he's Curse Lax could actually just sweep. It could definitely sweep. So I'm curious about how he's going to run that. And the Rillaboom could put in some work if Rotom's gone. It could definitely put in work if Rotom's gone. And the Flygon, I feel like that's going to be like a Choice Scarf one. But let's see how he plays it. So, turn 1, the Sceptiles are going to lead with the Lax. The Dragapults are going to go for a Toxic right off bat and going to poison the Lax. So, it's not Immunity Lax. So, it's probably like a thick fat one. But he gets Toxic there. He's going to go for the Darkest Lariat. I wonder why did he go for that. Was he trying to predict Dragapult? He's going to go for the Haze there to remove the Curse. That was a good play on their part to do that. But the Sceptiles are going to set up one more time, and they're going to Haze again as they go for a high horsepower. Oh my god, and a crit too? Yo, he's going to have to rest here if he has rest. If he has rest, he's going to have to do it right now. Okay, so he does go for the rest there. So good, smart play on Eric's part. And he's actually Chesto Berry. Huh, okay. So he's going to go for the Toxic again. He's going to go for the high horsepower again. That's doing a lot. That's doing a ton to that Pex. So Pex is getting worn down very quickly. But he's going to keep recovering though. So he's going to try and like wear this mon down. Which he can do anyway. With rest. With Haze plus Toxic. He's going to bring in the Rotom. Goes for the high horsepower on the switching. So great play on the Dragapult's part for catching that. They're going to go back into Pex on the rest. So Lax is now healthy. But this Pex being here is annoying. In comes the Cobalion as he's going to go for the rest again. So now you can go for Rocks here. So it seems to be a Rocks Cobalion. So maybe this is like a setup Sandaconda. So he's going to go for the high horsepower again. It does a decent chunk, but again, not too much. I really wonder what they're going to do. He's going to go for the Toxic again. So Eric is going to get his last Toxic again. But the Dragapults are going to keep crushing with the Toxic. So here comes another recovery from the Dragapults. Darkest Lariat isn't going to do too much to the Pex. His Pex seems to be like a very defensive, or like maybe like a mixed defensive kind of Pex. So this is still taking a good chunk from high horsepower. So going to go for the Clang Clang now. So now Eric brings in the Clang. Clang can actually do some work. If it's like a Shift Gear one, it could definitely like pressure through him. But he goes for the T-Wave and miss. That sucks a lot. No burn, thankfully. But if he got the T-Wave off there, that would have been perfect for him. But he's going to bring in the Lax to catch the Sandaconda, which he is going to catch it. So great play on their part. Going to bring in the Cobalion, and he's going to go for the rest here again, just making sure he keeps his Lax healthy. So far, this seems to be a pretty long game so far. In comes the Gastrodon now on the SD in the Cobalion switch. Okay, so here comes the CC. What are they going to do? Earthquake? They might have to Earthquake. They go for the Scald instead. Okay, Scald's going to do a lot, and they get a burn too. Gastro is still going to drop to the CC though, I think. Yeah, it's still going to drop. So Gastro being gone is pretty bad because he's not going to be able to really deal with the Rotom that well. But the Cobalion is pretty much going to be a revenge kill by the Rillaboom. So not the worst thing in the world, but goes for the CC instead. Okay, did he SD? Went for the knockoff. So there goes the Cobalion. So no lefties, but the Cobalion's just gone anyway. And he seems to be Life Orb on that as well. So Rotom comes in here. Rotom could definitely put some pressure on. He's gonna go into the Bro as oh, I guess that was a misclick on the so wait, hold up. So in the chat it seems like it was a misclick for him to go for the was that a misclick to go for the knockoff? Or was that a misclick for him going in the Lax? Probably a misclick for him going for the knockoff on the Cobalion. That seems like that was that. So he probably meant to go for the Grassy Glide. So he's gonna, you know, bring in the Sandaconda, and Sandaconda could definitely just go for the Coil, as it seems to be a coiling one. So if it's Coil, then that's looking pretty bad. He's gonna have to bring in the Frostmoth at some point. So it's gonna curse. So it needs to be a curse off now. But definitely Lax is gonna be stronger, since it can, you know, break through with Darkest Lariat. So, and definitely the Sandaconda's not gonna do too much damage. So Darkest Lariat's gonna do a lot, actually. Yeah, that does a decent chunk, actually. So not too bad. He could curse up again and just keep trying to wear this down. So he's gonna do it one more time. So here comes a third curse. So Darkest Lariat's probably gonna do like 40% this time. Maybe a little bit more, but that higher power is doing a lot. So he's gonna rest here again. Just make sure he keeps the Lax healthy. I feel like he should have just went for the damage there, because now this thing's gonna be even bulkier. So, and higher power is gonna do even more damage. So that's gonna do a clean 40%. So we could go for it again, which he does choose to go for it again. And now they're gonna go for the Darkest Lariat. It does 40%, as I figured. So 40 isn't that great. And now Lax is gonna drop. So there goes the Lax. So now the Sceptiles are down by 2, and the Dragapults are up by 1. Here comes the Ice Beam on the Peck switching. Beam is gonna get the freeze as well, but he could just break through with Scald. So he could bring in the Rillaboom now. Now if he gets burned right here, that could really suck. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Here comes a Scald. Is there gonna be a burn? No burn. So this is gonna put in some work right now. You could SD if you want, or you could just go Cling, which he chooses to catch, I guess, the Rotom. Okay, so he does catch the Rotom there. So now what are they gonna do? Go for the Overheat. That's gonna cook the Cling. So there goes Cling. And comes to Flygon. Flygon could probably be like a DD set, but even if it is, it can't really, you know, like deal with the P2. So there's gonna be a defog on the P2 switch, and he could beam here if he has it. So he's probably gonna beam. He does beam. Beam doesn't do too much, as Frostmoth is a defensive tank. Here comes a Bug Buzz, not doing too much. He's gonna teleport and bring in the Rotom, so Rotom could definitely go for the Overheat here. Flygon could come in here and catch the Overheat, as he does catch it. So it seems like this Flygon's more of a defensive one, or maybe like a maybe Choice Scarf. I'm gonna go for the Yui, so there goes a Yui there. And comes the Rillaboom. So Rillaboom could go for a knockoff here, remove that Eviolite, but it's gonna die to an Ice Beam. So he does choose to do that. So there goes the Eviolite, and there goes the Rillaboom. So Rillaboom is gonna drop to the Ice Beam, but at this point, not much you can really do. Quake's gonna, oh, it's Scorching Sands. Oh, and he still has to levitate. Yeah, so it looks like this is gonna be that. Ice Beam's gonna do too much, or is it gonna do that much? But he can't really pressure this back. He could definitely go for like a Toxic if he has it. He goes for Discharge, trying to get a Para. No Para there, but he could still go for the Hurricane, and he gets some like Confuses or something. Ice Beam's gonna do a lot. Gets the freeze, so he gets a second freeze. that's pretty funny, but the Peck's just gonna wall him forever now, as he really can't pressure this thing at all. He could try and Scald, I guess, but he could still Toxic, which he does choose to. And Toxic is just gonna wear down the It's just gonna wear down the Flygon. So yeah. Dragon Pulse isn't gonna do too much, so he seems to be just especially offensive Flygon. But yeah, that does like a good chunk, but not enough. He's gonna Nasty Ply here, and I guess he just chooses to sack the Rotom at this point because he doesn't really need it. So Rotom actually lives it like by the bare minimum, and that is gonna be the game, as the Rotom can just kill off the Frostmoth with the Overheat, and that's gonna be that. So yeah, this was a pretty tough game. Not gonna lie, this was a very tough game. This was a very tough game. I think definitely the Dragapults have definitely had this one. I don't know what he could have done differently against that Sandaconda. It seems like that Sandaconda might have been like a speedy, like maybe like a faster variant. So I don't think it would have been able to. I don't think Frostmoth would have been able to really break through it. Pex though, Pex was kind of hard to break through. The Cling. I don't know. I feel like the Cling could have done something, but the T-Wave miss did suck quite a bit. If he did get that T-Wave off, he might have gotten somewhere against that Pex. He definitely could have had something going with the Lax if he did get that T-Wave off. But unfortunately, that is going to gonna give the Dragapults their dub, and that is gonna be their third dub so far. So they are 3-0 right now, and Eric is now, I believe, 1-2. Since he did, yeah, I think he's 1-2 now. So that's gonna give him 1-2, and that is going to be their game for this week. So now let's move on to the third game for this week, which was Helmy, captain of the Wisconsin Weezings, versus Helga, captain of the Pennsylvania Phantumps. So let's see how this game's going to go down. Looking at the team preview, definitely Helga has a pretty good matchup, especially with the Azumarill and the Volcarona. Those two could go crazy. Especially if the Azumarill is like a belly drum variant, then it could definitely just sweep. The only immunity, well, I mean, they have the only immunity that that Helmy has to the Azumarill is a Heliolisk if it's a dry skin variant. So he could definitely he has to play around that. I mean, he could choose to play around that. Toad also seems to be a problem as well. Like Earth Power Toad could definitely do some work here. If it's a more offensive variant, it could do some work. But if it's like a special one, or if it's a defensive one, even defensive could still do some work too, because it could definitely take a take a hit from the Urshifu. Since it is the water one, of course. So yeah, he could also get a procs with that too if it is the rocker. So he could rock it, he could toxic. I'm feeling like that's gonna be like the healer for his team, probably a healing Aromatisse. Let's see. Yeah, again, the Volt could definitely do some work. But on the Helmy side though, definitely Sand is gonna mess him up. Sand is going to go crazy on Helga's draft. Since Drill can just set up and can really just, like break through a lot of stuff. But again, he has to be very aware of the Azumarill. The Pinsir doesn't seem to be doing that much though. I feel like it's just gonna be the rocker, or maybe it's gonna be like a choice banded mon, maybe choice band Pinsir. But I do like the Pinsir though. That's very cool. But yeah, this could be a really close game. So let's see how this goes. So turn 1, the Wisconsin Weezings are going to lead off the Urshifu. They're going to go for a CC. CC's going to do a lot, so that seems to be banded Urshifu. So here comes a Roost there. But yeah, he's going to be forced to switch out here and go for the Aromatisse. He's going to go for the Roost. So the Phantumps are going to go for the Roost there. They're going to Yui now on the Aromatisse. So now here comes the Volcarona. So Volcarona could put in some work. Here comes a Toxic. So good Toxic to catch the Volk. So now it comes to Serena. So Serena might be like an aromatherapy variant if the fact he went into that. So in comes Tar. Tar can't really do much here. He's gonna go into the Drift Blend as he goes for the Whip on the switch in. So pretty crazy play on their part. I guess again trying to catch the switch in or just get damage off. But here comes a Shadow Ball on the Mandibuzz. Not going to do too much of the Mandibuzz, as Mandibuzz seems to be again like just fat as usual. Here comes a Sub. Gonna go for the Yui. So great play on their part. He could go for the Strain Step if he has it. So let's see. He goes for a Shadow Ball instead. So Shadow Ball's going to do a lot. Going to wear that down. And comes a drop too. So a Shadow Ball could drop that now. If he goes for the Strain Step. That was a great play on his part. Great play to weaken that. And Knockoff's going to do a little bit. But a Stark Barrier is going to be revealed. But here comes another Strain Sap. So he's going to take the Knockoff. But he goes for the Belly Drum on the switch. Or Belly Drum on the Strain Step. A great play. Jet can kill now. So there goes the Drift Blend. In comes the Urshifu to revenge kill this, as Jet is going to do a lot, but he could just go for the CC and knock him out. So there goes the Azumarill. So now it's a 1v1. So there goes that. In comes Pinsir. Pinsir could do some stuff here. Probably go for like an SD or probably go for a Quake. Quake comes out, so maybe that's a Choice Scarf Pinsir? Not too sure. Here comes a Wish. So Aromatisse is going to try and be healthy here. In comes the Serena as he goes for the Moonblast. So Moonblast is going to do a good chunk to this arena, as that seems to be a more offensive variant. Whip is going to do a decent chunk, but not too crazy. Toxic's going to miss right there. So not too bad, but he's going to get this Wish off right here after this Protect. So here comes Aromatisse getting... Oh, wait, no, I'm kidding. I think that was the... I think that might have missed right there. Oh, wait, no, he goes for it there. So there goes the Wish. So he's going to Wish up here. Get his Aromatisse healthy. So he does reveal the Aromatherapy. So there is the Aromatherapy Serena. He needs to land this Toxic here if he wants to get some kind of like mid-ground. But he's going to go for the Wish there again. Again, trying to keep this Aromatisse healthy. And it seems to be Boots Aromatisse. So he lands his Toxic there, which is great. And the Wish is going to come off there as well. So this Mandibuzz is also Toxic as well. So Toxic Wish Protect. No Healing Wish. So that is going to be kind of a bummer. But so he could Moonblast this arena down, keep it low. But now he's kind of forced to switch out here because he needs to keep this healthy. But he chooses to keep the Aromatisse in. And he is going to land the Toxic this time. So he does land the Toxic. He can Moonblast this down, keep it low. Or he could just go for the Wish. I'm pretty sure he goes for the Wish. Again, he wants to keep this healthy, but he does go for the Toxic again. So great play going for the double Toxic. Again, running down that Serena as much as possible. He's going to go for it again. Does he go for another Toxic or Moonblast? He does Moonblast there. So Moonblast is going to come out. Going to keep this Serena low, but he is going to lose his Aromatisse. So with Aromatisse being gone, that's kind of bad because now he can't really Toxic through anything else. The Volcarona is still healthy, but the Urshifu can still pressure the Volcarona, especially since it is banded, as Banded Jet can kill Volcarona. The only thing that could really be a problem is the Mandibuzz, but I still feel like Helmy should have this out. So he can go for the CC. He goes for the Yui, and that is going to kill off the Serena. So there goes the Serena. Here comes the Heliolisk. So now it's 4-4, and comes Pinsir. Going to go for the Quake, and that is going to be a dead Heliolisk as he reveals to be Choice Scarf Pinsir. So here comes the Urshifu. Going to go into the Toad as he's going to go for the Surging Strike and catch it. So great play on the Phantom's part catching that. In comes Tar. Going to go for a Quake. Quake's going to do a lot to the Toad. It's going to do a lot to Tar. Goes for another Quake, and there goes the Tar. So maybe this Toad. So this Toad was an offensive Toad. Not going to reveal the rocks. Unless it actually was Rocks Toad, and he was just a more physically offensive variant. So with Tar dropping, he is going to lose his Sand, but he can still take advantage of this with Drill plus Urshifu. So let's see what happens here. He is going to go into the Drill. Going to go for the Quake. Quake does a lot, but Quake back will kill, and that is going to be the game. So that is going to be that, as Urshifu can come in here, but it really can't do much. He does reveal the Protector as well. Going to go for the CC, and he is going to break through the Protect, though. So there goes that, but he's not going to be able to break through the Volcarona, as Volcarona can kill with Fiery Dancer Psychic, and that is going to be the game. So that is going to be the Phantom's first dub, actually. So that's going to be their first dub. I think. Yeah, that should be their first dub. So that's their first dub. And the Wisconsin Weezings are going to take their first... Actually, I think it's their second loss. It's either their first or second loss, this one. I am so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I think this is their second loss. No. Yeah, this is their second loss. This is their second loss because they... it was a pretty close game against Bible. So, for them. For the Wisconsin Weezings. So yeah, this is their second loss, and the Phantoms are gonna get their first win. So overall, pretty close game, or a pretty cool game. Definitely was not expecting the Choice Card Pinsir. That was pretty cool, and the offensive Toad definitely went off. So I'm assuming that it might have been like maybe Adamant Toad, or just had a lot of attack investment. Probably just like an Adamant Toad. Since CC was able to still break it down. And Toad just has some pretty decent defenses, so it could potentially take a CC, but then again, this was Bandit Urshifu, so Bandit Urshifu could definitely like 2 KO Toad, defensive Toad. But yeah. I don't know, man. This was a pretty tough game. This was a very tough game. I definitely think that he could have came out of this if he had went Heliolisk earlier. Then he could have prevented the Jet from coming in, and he could have forced out the Azumarill. Forced him to go into Toad, or forced him to go into the Serena, which he could have taken advantage of. But still, pretty cool game. Definitely like what Helga brought this game, bringing the Pinsir and also bringing the Pinsir and the Azumarill definitely like helped him quite a bit, and the offensive Toad. But yeah, that's gonna be the game for this week. So now let's move on to the last game for week 3. So the last game to wrap up week 3 is going to be Edster, captain of the New Mexico Ludicolo, versus Bible, captain of the Fire Nation. So two opponents that have not faced off yet. I mean, pretty much everyone hasn't faced off each other like yet. I mean, but let's see. Looking at the team preview, Cinderace is very strong, but Cinderace is just a strong mon in general. It'll always like put in work. But it could definitely put in work here. Especially if he's banded. If he's banded Cinderace, banded Cinderace could definitely do some work here. Pyro Ball is just gonna mess up everything. He could also be like a play rough kind of what's it called? Slurpuff. He could be like a belly drum play roughing one. If possible. Definitely Electric Terrain could go off too. The only mon he does have that could stop that is going to be this. And also if he has like an AV Magearna, but not too sure. I feel like Ed's gonna be running a more offensive Magearna this week, since he has to deal with Cinderace, so he needs something that could actually like break through it. It could be Belly Drum Como too to break through that. Maybe like Belly Drum Salic. But let's see. Let's dive into this one. He's gonna lead with the Rotom. Bible leads for the Rotom as they lead with the Magearna. So here comes a Volt Switch. It is going to be an AV Magearna as I did 22%. Gonna go for the Trick Room actually. Oh, so it's offensive Magearna with Trick Room. That's actually very cool. Here comes the Bro on the Spore. Ooh, so he's going to eat the Spore. Going to go to the Palisand. In comes the Pincurchin. Probably going to go for a Spike here, or T-Spike. Going to go into the Rotom, so they double switch on the Scorching Sand. So great play on the Fire Nation to catch that. Here comes the Magearna as they're going to go for a Trick. Yo! Oh, that Trick was so nice. Here comes the Volt Switch. Not boosted by the Electric Terrain since they are like above it. Trick him again, but not really much he could do. He's gonna bring in the Incineroar and gonna get the Intimidate drop on the Cinderace. So they're gonna drop that. In comes the Rotom. So they're just switching all over. Knockoff's gonna catch the Rotom. So there goes the Rotom. Gonna go for the Party Shot there too to weaken the Rotom as well. And now they're gonna bring the Palisand as they're gonna go for a Trick again. So a double Trick, gonna take the Specs. That's actually gonna hurt him. That's gonna hurt him quite a bit because now what the Fire Nation can do is that they can pump through. Or they could just Volt Switch through. Like, Pump is going to hurt. Pump is going to hurt quite a bit. Yeah, Pump is going to hurt a lot. But I still think that the Ludicolo could still break through. But we'll see. We'll see. Gonna go for a Shadow Ball. Gonna do, like, not too much. Instead of Moongus seems to be, like, a specially defensive variant. In comes the Rotom on the Espeon switch-in. So, he could go for a Psychic here. He chooses to go Palisand, interestingly enough. I don't know why he did that. Why would he make that play? His Choice Scarf is gone. He definitely could have killed it with Psychic, since the Rotom seems to be like fully offensive. So sagging Palisand there might have been a choke, because he definitely could have kept this around for the Raichu, and he could have kept it, and he could have kept it as a sleep fodder as well. I don't know why he sacked it there, huh? Well, I guess maybe I think that might have been a misplay. But losing the Palisand sucks for him though. He could bring in the Bro. But now in comes the Pincurchin, who could take advantage of this and go for a Volting and go for the Rising Voltage. So he's going to go into the Magearna as he goes for a T-Spike. So the T-Spike is going to hurt because now Bro's going to get poisoned after it wakes up. He also, you know, can't bring in the Espeon now because Espeon's going to get poisoned as well unless he's rocking the boots. But I doubt it. Como's going to get poisoned. So it's not looking too great for Ed. But let's see how he could come out of this alive. Going to go for the Trick Room. And he's going to go for another T-Spike. Goes for a double Trick Room. So I think he's just sacking the Magearna at this point because he can't really do much with it. Going to go into the Como. So the Poison's going to suck there. He does get the Toxic now. And he is going to go for the Body Press. And there goes the Rotom getting worn down. He could go for the Rock. He goes for the Trick. So there goes the Specs. Going to go for the Body Press. And there goes the Rotom. So he at least takes one Mon down. But it's not looking too great. Is he bringing the Amoonguss here? And he goes into the Incineroar, which is going to get poisoned as well. Or is it going to be Boots? It's Boots, actually. He goes for the Nature Power. Going to go for the Tri Attack right there. Going to go for the Parting Shot. Weaken the Amoonguss a little bit. Bro comes in now. Going to go for a Spore again. But Bro should be able to wake up now. No, it does not wake up. It gets a second turn. Goes for the Sub, so it is going to be a Belly Drum. Slurpuff. Going to go for the Skull. Going to break it. And now here comes a Player Off. Going to do a little bit, but not too much. It's actually going to reveal the Rocky Helmet, so that's very cool. So Pincurchin can come out here now, and he's going to go for a Psychic. Psychic does a decent chunk, but not too much. Goes for the Rising Voltage, and there goes the Bro. So yeah, the Pincurchin is slow enough that he can outspeed the Bro. So Espeon can come in here now, but he is going to get Toxic. And comes the Como. Goes for the Rising Voltage. Rising Voltage is so much, man. Like, that's such a good move. That's such a good move, man. Like, very good move. Very good electric move, since it can capitalize on monsters that are grounded. So still, that's a ton. That's such a good chunk of damage. And comes the Amoonguss, which is gonna take an ice punch to the throat. So Ice Punch is gonna do a decent chunk. He's gonna do it again. Gonna weaken that Como gonna weaken the Amoonguss as much as possible. But he can still switch out here and just keep pivoting around. He goes into the Ace on the Ice Punch again. Maybe trying to get a freeze. No freeze on the Ace, and there goes the Como. And at this point, he can't really do much here. So gonna get the Intimidate drop on the Ace, but Yui's gonna come out. And Yui does a lot, so that is definitely Banded Ace. And comes the Pincurchin again as he goes for the Earthquake. Does reveal the Shuka, but that is still gonna drop that off. He's gonna go for a Quick again. He goes for the knockoff instead, so he's gonna remove the item. But that is faster. But there goes that. Koi's gonna drop off the bro, or gonna drop off the Slurpuff, but Raichu can just pretty much clean this game up. Gonna go for the Rising Voltage, and that is going to be the game, as Espeon's not gonna take the hit, and that is that. So a pretty commanding victory for the Fire Nation. Again, I'm not too sure why Ed did that. I wonder why would he sack the Palisand there to take the pump? Again, like he really could have just taken advantage of that and went for the Espeon just Psychic, because Espeon definitely had some stuff going here. Like Psychic could have just messed him up a little bit. But that is gonna suck for the New Mexico Ludicolo, as they're now 1-2. I think they are 1-2 now. And now Bible, captain of the Fire Nation. I think they're 2-0. I think they're 2-1 now. I think they're actually 2-1. Because they lost to the Dragapults, and they beat Helmy last week, and they beat Ed now. So they're 2-1 now. So the Fire Nation is definitely catching up right now. But so pretty crazy game. Pretty crazy game. The trick, like the switching back and forth with the Rotom was pretty cool though. The Trick Rotom was definitely doing a lot of work there. So Rotom was MVP. Rotom was definitely MVP for this one. Definitely just pressured him right off bat. But that is going to be the end of week 3. So in terms of who I'd say had the best games, I don't know. I think everything felt pretty like even. Everything felt pretty even. But I definitely say that the one who had the more commanding victory was probably DMX, because I mean, like, Eric really couldn't do much, especially with the T-Wave miss. And again, like, he was just getting pressured heavily by Pex plus Rotom. Like, it was very tough for him to break through that. But still, pretty cool game though. It was still a pretty cool game. I don't know. It's really hard for me to figure out like who had the better game. I'd probably say it was my game actually. Like, again, my game with King Eevee was pretty like back and forth, like pretty like hit for hit. But it was also a pretty simplistic game too. But we were pretty much just taking each other's mons out. Especially that Porygon Z. Like that Porygon Z like just went crazy. And also the reboot at the end too. Like it came down to a very close game. So I'd probably say for this week it was my game with King Eevee versus King Eevee, definitely. And then probably after that it will be Ed's game. Then after that it will be this one, and then it will be this one last. But still, very cool games though, very very cool games. So that is going to be the end of week 3. So for week 4, as we dive into week 4, the players can now do trades, so they can trade with each other, or they can go into the vault of mons that are still left from OU, UU, NU, or PU. But they can only choose one mon, so they only get one mon regardless of the tier, and that is going to be that. So now we're halfway done with the season, which is crazy. So we have like 3 more weeks left. So after those 3 weeks, we will be diving into the playoffs. So I still haven't decided how playoffs are going to work. It'll probably just be like the top 4. So whoever has the most points will probably move on to the finals. So or to the playoffs. So yeah, so that is going to be that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on my Pokémino and check out my Smogon profile. All those links will be down in the descriptions. I am so sorry if I was all over the place in this one. It was kind of hard for me to keep track of everything because the games were just going by so fast. But still, very cool week though, very cool week. But again, we'll just see what happens in the next week or in the following week. So yeah. Again, the matches will be up for tomorrow. So I will get those matches set up, and then and in terms of like uploads for this week, I'm gonna take a break from uploading since I did reach my goal of 250 subs. So again, thank you guys for that. But yeah, I will take a break for this week, and no uploads for this week. Just gonna take a break. I'll be back next week with some uploads, and I'll probably try and get a drawing vid in as well. I know I've been seeing that for a while, but I will try to get that out the way. But I kind of went a little off topic, but that's going to be it, guys. Be safe, wash your hands, and peace out.